On June 17, 1991, Van Halen would release their album For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. About a week after the album's release, the band would tick off one family in Oklahoma who claimed their privacy had been invaded and that they'd been suffering from emotional distress and needed to seek out the care of doctors for some of their family members. Today, let's explore what happened. On June 28, 1991, the paper The Oklahoman would report, and I quote, Todd McNutt, 29, said the trouble started last week with the release of Van Halen's newest record, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. On a tiny photograph on the liner of the group's compact disc, there's a picture of a blackboard, and on the blackboard are hundreds of telephone numbers. 3 or 4 are legible, including McNutt's, the article would state. McNutt, who lived with his parents and 2 sisters, said their house received countless phone calls, most of which were lewd and crude from Van Halen fans. The McNutts claimed to the press that their garage was firebombed and that their garage doors and vehicles were spray painted with the Van Halen logo, and their vehicle tires were slashed by vandals. In addition to that, the 4-letter acronym for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge that also doubles as an obscenity was spray painted on their driveway and vehicles. The family would claim to have suffered emotional distress to the point that several members of the household had to visit the hospital. In addition to that, the connection to Van Halen also had some in their circle of friends questioning the family's Christian faith. The family tried to get in touch with the band's label Warner Brothers, but they didn't seem to be much help. McNutt would tell the same paper, all they did was advise us to get an answering machine and refer all calls to their office in Los Angeles. The label claimed the photo in question was taken in Eddie Van Halen's studio with a chalkboard that listed the names and numbers of people the guitarist was dealing with during the recording of the album. The McNutts were unhappy with the fact that they had to pay for both the answering machine and a second telephone line. Their message on the answering machine would refer calls to Warner Brothers offices. Another source, Tulsa World, would claim that the family had to hire a guard service and eventually move out of their house and get an unlisted number. So how did the McNutts' phone number end up on the blackboard if they weren't connected to the band in any way? Well, it would turn out there was a musician, a studio owner, and a guitar maker who used to live in Tulsa named Steve Ripley, who worked with Eddie Van Halen on the design of a new guitar. He had the phone number that was included on the blackboard, but once he moved, his number was given to the McNutts, or so they thought. Warner Brothers claimed the numbers on the chalkboard were just an afterthought, and they never figured that fans would decipher any of them. But fans were able to decipher at least 3 or 4 of them, according to sources. Tulsa World would report in 1992 that one of the numbers was, and I quote, a medical and financial organization in California, while the second phone number was the phone line for bassist Michael Anthony, which he since changed since the album came out. The third number was apparently the listing for Steve Ripley. Some stories claimed his number was given to the McNutts, while Ripley would be interviewed by the Oklahoman, who revealed that the number on the blackboard wasn't given to the family, but merely misread by those calling the family, revealing even that would be hard to do because you would be taking a 0 from the real number and linking it with a 0 from the telephone number above it to read it as an 8. Ripley would claim his phone number on the chalkboard was given to another man in Tulsa, but instead of complaining, the man simply changed his number. According to Tulsa World, the McNutts and Ripley's old numbers were identical except for 1 digit. The paper would report, and I quote, when you were squinting over a magnifying glass trying to decipher almost invisible numbers, one squiggle could be a 0 or an 8. The family would end up filing a lawsuit against Van Halen in the middle of 1992, seeking over $2 million for emotional distress. Named in the suit was the band, their producers, and their record label, and the McNutts claimed that they were, and I quote, an ordinary Midwest Christian family, and it wasn't clear whether the lawsuit was rejected, but I've done a similar story involving AC/DC and a family who sued the band for the exact same reason, but that lawsuit would be thrown out of court, and I'm guessing since that set a precedent, that might be the case in this lawsuit as well. That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. We'll see you again in Rock and Roll True Stories.